Hey, what's going on, tribe? Redbeard here with KempoHand from the Warrior Tribe, and we're out here on a nice Sunday afternoon around the campfire. We opted to stay close to home for this this cooking, just due to the nature of what we're making, and it's nice to have all the things close by and handy. And KempoHand and his family are going to stay with us and have dinner, so it's nice to be close to home sometimes. And you know what? Sometimes it's good to practice backyard cooking as well. Because sometimes that's what you're going to do.
All the same principles apply, right? So
exactly, right on. So guys, what we're doing here, just getting sort of some things ready. We're fire roasting our chorizo sausage and a couple of jalapenos over the fire. And once we have that stuff all kind of set up, then we'll get to the main component and get stuff into the Dutch oven and start the process of our jambalaya. All right, hang on. Just to give you an overview of sort of the components of a jambalaya. Of course, as you saw over there, we've got some sausage and some chili peppers. Those are jalapenos. Nice amount of flavor, not a terrible high amount of heat. Some of the other ingredients here we're using. Jambalaya is a southern United States kind of a Cajun mixed with a French style cooking. So what they use is what's called the Holy Trinity, which is onion, celery, and peppers. Can be green, red, doesn't matter. So that's going to be our major flavor profile. I've got some green onions here for garnish. Got some boneless chicken thighs. Like I said, we've got the sausage over there. And up in the house, I've got some white tiger shrimp that we will add near the end. And of course, we'll add some rice. We have a little bit of diced tomatoes, some tomato paste, and some chicken broth. I don't normally use that, but I just happen to have it left in the fridge from one of my wife's dishes, so we'll use it up. That's cool. All right. So guys, one of the major components of most food that you're going to cook, especially any sort of stews and soups, is onion. Okay, it's a huge flavor, you know that. I'm just going to give a quick demonstration how to cut an onion. Not everybody knows how to do this properly. So what I've done is I've topped and bottomed off the onion, okay? And that's the best way to start. Gives me a flat surface to work with. And I'm just going to simply take the onion in half. Once I've got it in half, I can take the peel off. I don't worry about sacrificing a bit of the onion if I have to peel through an extra layer to get a nice piece of onion, so I don't have any of that dry skin type stuff. It's good. We'll just throw that right on the ground. Who cares? I'll pick that up later. So we'll do the same with the other side. Once we have that done, what we want to do is we want to cut against the layers in whatever size we want to do. If we want to do a small dice, we're going to make small rings. But we're going to do a larger dice for the purpose of this dish. So I'm going to cut all the way through, all the way through, all the way through, all the way through. Sometimes the onion's going to have a root end. I don't want to use that, so we'll chop that out later. In fact, we'll just take it out of there now. We don't need it. Now we just turn the onion the other direction and do the exact same thing the other way. Nice and slow so the onion doesn't fly all over the place. And that gives me a nice large dice. Principle remains, if you want to do small dice, you just make your line smaller, go through it that way. All right, guys. So guys, we got KempoHand here. He's stirring up the onions, and I've just added in the diced chicken. So we're just going to get that cooking away, and then we'll add in our next bunch of ingredients. We'll go in with the peppers and the celery, and chop up the sausage and get that in there as well. Things are starting to smell good out here, eh, buddy?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
All right. Okay, guys, so next step, I'm going to season up the chicken and the onions with our Cajun spice. So this is a homemade blend of spices. It's real simple. If you can get it, smoked paprika is the main base of it. If you can't get smoked paprika, regular paprika will do fine. Then we've got onion powder, garlic powder, a bit of white pepper if you have it. If not, black pepper is no problem. And then we have some oregano and dried thyme. So that's this particular blend. There's lots of different varieties out there. This is the one I like to use. I don't add any salt in it at this point. You can always season it later, but this is just a dry spice. This works great on ribs, chicken wings, anything for the barbecue, but I love it for the jambalaya and gumbo. Right on, guys. The next ingredient we're going to soon add to our jambalaya is the diced tomatoes. KempoHand's opening up with, you know, his Victorinox tool. Great tool. Awesome. Use your tools, guys, because you need that skill when the time matters. You know, when it counts, you want to know that you can open a can with your multi-tool. It's not as easy as we all think sometimes, especially you get cold hands. you're stressed out, you're hungry, you know, maybe you need to teach your family how to use one as well, because it might be the difference between eating and not. You know, we have the can opener up at the house that we could make this easy, but this is reality. So Scott's going to get this can open. It takes a little more time, and that's just the nature of it. So we've also got a can of tomato paste that's nice and small. I'll take the easy road and open that one after he works hard. So guys, we got our fire grilled sausage here. We're just going to slice them on the bias. Okay, that's French for on an angle. Not sure why they call it the bias, but they do. So that's just how I like to cut them. You don't have to cut them this way. You can just chunk them up into circles, into cubes. It doesn't matter. I just think it looks nice sometimes to cut them on the angle.
It's all about presentation.
Yeah, sometimes, eh?
Food's gotta look good.
Yeah, you eat with your eyes first.
We actually did test a few pieces, and it's very spicy and yummy.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Lots of flavor.
So the key, guys, I'm using my chef knife right now as opposed to my bush knife, just for something different. And for those of you who may or may not have good knives at home for cooking, if you do, the key, like every knife, is to keep it sharp. But you let the knife do the cutting, you know? Don't press through and squish the sausage. Trust in your knife. Slice through that skin and just draw through. Nice and simple. Oh, look at that bad job I did. Right, let the knife do the slicing. Beautiful. So guys, at this point we've got the majority of our ingredients in there. We've got our sausage, our peppers, our onions, our celery, chicken, tomatoes, tomato paste, and our nice Cajun spice. Everything's sort of stewing together, and kind of that flavor starting to build. The two ingredients that we haven't added at this point yet are our rice and our shrimp. Of course, when we're cooking shrimp, we don't want to add it till the very end because it only takes a few minutes to cook. And if you overcook shrimp, it gets real tough and kind of a nasty texture. It's not real good. So, and our rice is going to take about a half an hour to stew in the juices. So we want to make sure that we have enough liquid to constitute the rice. So when I go inside and grab the rice and the shrimp, we'll show you what we do at that point. So the next step that I want to do is just get the shrimp or prawns prepared. So these are white shrimp. Big difference between white and black tiger shrimp, you may or may not know, is cost. Firstly, black tiger shrimp costs a lot more money, and a lot of people think that means it's better shrimp. It's not necessarily the case. What it means is when they farm these, and they are mostly all farmed, a white tiger shrimp are vegetarian, so they can feed them a vegetarian-based food, where the black tiger shrimp are carnivorous, so they have to eat a more expensive food. So there's not really a difference in the quality everybody thinks there is. So I buy white tiger shrimp, and these have been, the head has been removed, the tail is still on, the little legs are still on. Thankfully, these have been zippered, which means that they've sliced down the backside and they've removed their digestive tract, which is often in there, and it's filled with their waste. You can eat it, it's not harmful, but it's a little undesirable looking. So anyways, if you didn't have these zippered, you just take a knife or scissors, snip up there, pull that little bit out, and then all you have to do is just peel it open like this, gently, grab it on both sides, and it just jumps right out. It's nice. I like to leave the tails attached, but you don't have to. You can pop the tail right off just by squeezing it and giving it a little tug. So that's a perfectly peeled and deveined shrimp, or like I said, you can leave the tails on. Guys, at this point we've got our stew, our jambalaya all jambalayed up, you know? Bad joke there. Anyways, what we want to do now at this point is add in our rice. So we want to make sure that we have enough liquid that rice is going to reconstitute. So to know that, you know, there are measurements, but I don't work by measurements. So I just go by a look. It's fairly wet. Okay, there's lots of liquid in there. It's going to cook my rice. And I can check halfway through, and if things are looking too dry, I can always add a little bit more liquid and it will carry on. So don't be afraid to do that. So let's go in. This is about 2 cups of rice. That's going to be enough to really bring this together. I'm going to leave a little bit out because I think I over-measured. So that's cool. Let's start with this. What's up, tribe? So the finishing touches here, we got everything plated up. We're sitting around the table. This is what it's all about, you know, putting together good food, enjoying it with your friends and family. So let's see how it all turned out here. Boom, we got jambalaya. What do you think, KempoHand?
Awesome.
Right on, man. All right, enjoy. Thanks, guys.